Okay, welcome to another episode of the build breakdown, or whatever everybody calls these. So this is the wrap-up video for Shanman's C10, Chevy C10. This is, again, don't know the year, 63 to 66. We do too many of them. I don't pay attention to what all these years are, but just finished this thing up, and I got about 350 miles on it now. And we're going to give it back to him on Monday. Today is Wednesday, so we're trying to do this video and then do a photo shoot for the magazine. And then he's gonna fly out or drive out here on Sunday, pick it up Monday morning, and it'll be on. So let's do a little walkthrough. So like I said, Chevy C10, this one is on another GSI airbag chassis. We've got our typical treatment. We've got GSI chassis, we've got AccuAir air management, Curry axle, RideTech shocks, bare brakes. This one has an LS3, it's a 376 cubic inch Don Hardy built engine, does just over 550 horsepower at the crank, backed by Chevy Performance 6L80 transmission. I believe with the wheel combo on here, we have a 22 by 8.5 and a 22/12. So I think with that rear tire size, we did a 370 gear on the rear end. So 370 gear, and then the Curry limited slip. I think they call it the twin track. The paint on this is the way he brought it to us. This sat in a collection in Florida. We did give it to Eye Candy after we were done with all the mock-up stuff because we smoothed the inside of the bed, widened the tubs, and then smoothed those out. So the inside of the bed that you see is bed line, and then underneath it is all color match bed lined also. And then as usual, under the hood, we shaved all the stuff. We kind of made it look factory. Let's go look at that. You wanna go look at that? Don Hardy 550 horse-ish LS3. We really like these Holley valve covers because they leave the coils on top, but they also seal it. But we tried to make each side of the firewall match. So this side kind of has the factory shape, but then we tried to match that same shape on the passenger side. We have Porterbuilt hood hinges on it, and then we have the Hart Fab tubs. We sent the radiator and these front panels and the core support off when we powder coated the chassis at Pack Coast Powder, but we had them powder coat this stuff too to kind of make it look a little bit just cleaner and more factory-ish. That's an ABS Power Brakes master cylinder, and that has an electric vacuum pump with an accumulator that's mounted underneath the truck. We like these brake booster setups because these were factory manual brakes. So rather than adding a big booster on there or a Hydro Boost setup, I think this looks more kind of factory original. Continuing outside, bumpers, grill, trim, all that stuff was already on the truck. We did swap the turn signals and headlights over to LEDs from United Pacific. Same with the taillights. Taillights has United Pacific sequential taillights. But other than that, the outside of it's relatively stock, other than the height. So I'll show you in the bed next. So most of the time when we do the wood beds, I measure everything out, and we try to make the bed wood make sense. So I don't want to strip running into the wheel well, and I don't want a little piece of wood right here. So we try to measure everything out, get all the boards as uniform as possible, but then make it to where nothing looks like an afterthought. It was all done on purpose. But then this one actually opens too. So this is the controller for the Dakota Digital actuators that lift up the bed. And the cool thing about this is it's got its own limit switches. So you can actually program this for whatever height you want. So we have it all the way down, kind of like a show mode, I guess you would say, like halfway up or so. And then this one will go all the way up. And all you have to do to lift it is just push it. It lights up. You don't have to hold it. You don't have to do anything with it. it goes to the spot where it's supposed to and it stops on its own. So this is hinged on the LS fabrication hinges. And then we have the coated digital actuators that push it up. And that button on the dash has 3 settings. It has all the way up and all the way down and a halfway in between. So this is kind of the all the way up setup so you can see everything. We've got the AccuAir ECU right there, dry air compressors on your side. And we have the AccuAir VT tank. So that has the valves built into it. Makes for way less connections, less chance for leaks. You basically just run your line from your bag straight to the tank. We've got the GSI tank, which has a 340 liter per hour pump inside of it. That supplies fuel filter, which regulates it as well, goes up, feeds plenty of fuel for 550 horsepower. But that's it, you can't really see much, which is the way we like to build them. The interior of the truck, we did a lot without making it look like we did a lot. So the dash is unpainted, like all this stuff that you see painted in here was already done. We did swap the gauges to Dakota Digital. These are their RTX gauges, so they look the most similar to the factory gauges, but they give us all the modern amenities. Built a little panel for the AccuAir there to go where the factory AC controls were, I believe. We did a retro sound radio right where the factory radio would have been, so that's nice because it's Bluetooth. We even put the little microphone down here. Steve over at Elevated Design, who did the entire interior on this, built a little skirt there. We put the Resto Mod rectangular vents, and then underneath that there's a small front center console that houses the low car sport shifter. So again, that's a tap shifter, so you can bump that over into manual mode and you can up and down shift with it. You actually have a functioning center console, so it actually opens up and you can put stuff in it. Seats are TMI. The owner of the truck supplied us with all the stereo gear, so we had 6x9s and they were already cut into the door. Nobody likes how just a 6x9 screwed to the door looks, so we've had Steve make a nice trim for this. Behind the seat, we've got another set of 6x9s, and we've got 2 Kicker Solo Barrack subs. Nice thing is the AC on this thing works super cool, so it's like 105 degrees out right now, and we just had this truck idling for like 10 minutes and it stayed below 210 degrees, so with the AC bumping. But that's about it, right? Right? Build breakdown? We should come up with a term for that, because that sounds a little too hoonigan. This isn't Hoonigans. Not that I have anything against the Hoonigans, but this is the...
You could be like, the build, breakdown.
Flashy.